Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Let's see. You have to excuse my sinuses on today. It's a little, under the weather elements is bothering me. But anyway, so today's question was posed by a mature woman in the dating game, and her question was why basically why is there a double standard in dating today between men and women? Why is there a double standard in dating today between men and women? Good morning, Joy. Hey, Victoria. Hey, everybody. Okay. So here's the backstory. All right. It starts with, so this is the question. Why is there inequity between men and women when in non-committed relationships? For background, prior to being in a committed relationship, I engaged in friendships with several men that always was respectful, supportive, and added value inside and out the bedroom. Well, and she says, I recall a particular time I spent bedroom time with a friend, and he reached into what seemingly looked like a Costco-sized box of condoms. Then she says, about 2 weeks later, we got back together outside of just going on dates, and he said he didn't have a condom. My response, wait, what happened to that jumbo condom box you had last time? His response, well, I only had 3 in there. So knowing we aren't committed, I understood that he had sex at least 2 times since engaging with me last. I get it. I appreciate his honesty. I felt free enough to be just as honest. Sometime later, perhaps after a couple of more friendship hangouts, I get an invitation from him to hang out and possibly spend the night. I already have plans, so I tell him such. He asks if I can come over after said plans. I reply with a no, because it's likely those plans would be followed by their sleepover plans. Dude had a complete meltdown. It included, why are you doing this to me? And I wanted something special with you. So then lastly, she says, no, he never made any commitment to me or expressed this to me until he realized that I was doing exactly what he jokingly admitted to be doing. Why the double standard? Oh, that was pretty much, there was a lot there. Why the double standard? Okay. We gotta, so this is a thing that continues to come up, because whether men like it or not, in this day and time, a lot of women, whether they are, I gotta say my word, whether they were organically created to be this way or not, we can argue over that, but women today are moving just like men. They're out here and they're doing things and they're detaching themselves just like men. And so that's why today, you have me personally, I think it's the reason why a lot more men are more hypersensitive and halfway, as we would say back in the day, soft or whatever, because to be honest, back in the day, it was more of a, what do you call it? It was more of the boys club and a boys club mentality when it came to dating in marriage. It was kind of a thing where, that's your old lady over there, she talking like that, you don't got her in check, and this, that, and the other. Or if there was a woman that was bold, if she was bold to be like telling men that she's dating all these guys, it was a rare situation in a particular area where you said, oh yeah, she dates these, she dates all these guys like this, that, and the other. But it was more of a thing where it was kind of moving in secret. Whereas nowadays, women are bold with what they do. They'll tell you, I'm dating 4 or 5 guys, whatever. And that's just how they're going to put it out there. And so to get to my point, back then, men kind of sort of, we controlled a lot of stuff, if we're honest. We controlled a lot of things, and women were a lot more suppressive and quiet. Whereas now, like I said, we're in a different day, and that's not the case any longer. Women are bold with their choices and their decisions. They don't care what the men think about their, what kind of thoughts you're going to have if she makes this kind of decision sexually or whatever. And so here we are. The chickens have come home to roost. And so men, this is the way I look at it, men are having trouble seeing themselves in women. We're having trouble seeing our behaviors historically played out in women. So if you think about her story, what she talked about, so there's 2 angles to this. So I'm gonna get to a part about her, but then there's a part about him. So they were both in an uncommitted relationship. They were dating, they hanging out. Okay, there's no crime in that. The problem comes is, and this is the part women don't understand. I don't doubt that guy, even though they had I call it a convenient relationship dealing, and they were non-committed, so they were able to get the benefits without the work, so to speak. Nonetheless, men can still see value in a woman, but unless she ignites it, he's not going to react any different. He's just going to continue moving right along as regular. If she don't put the stamp to change something, he's going to keep on, because guess what? It's convenient and it works and it's free. I can do a couple of dates, but if I don't have to have the responsibility of going to your family's cookout, or somebody's this, or we got to show up for this, or your friends having this, or you want me to do all these things, or help with that, this, that, and the other. If you can do the minimum, go out on dates, and then still be able to get the end result physically, then what's the point? So with him, when he noticed how we men are, we can play this, let's be free and date and, uncommitted or whatever. But, mentally, men don't like to knowingly share, just like women. No one likes to knowingly share anyone. I mean, you deal with it. I mean, the selfish element in us will sprout up. Even in an uncommitted situation, a person is going to be selfish enough to say, yeah, but I don't want you doing this. If the person is telling you they're doing it, no one wants to knowingly say, where were you? Oh, I was just with him earlier today, or her, but I'm with you now. And it's just like, okay, you got to be kind of cut a certain way to kind of hear that and turn the deaf ear to it. And so a lot of people, we just don't move like that. We kind of want you. This is the reality. We in these dating situations today, we want to date you, date them, date this, that, and the other, but I don't want to know what you're doing. Don't tell me about it. If you are doing that, you just do you, and I'll just see you over here. But I don't want to hear about it, because now if you tell me you're doing this, that, and the other, I'm getting my feelings, and then I'm going to play the Jedi mind trick, so that you can be, quote unquote, put on the shelf. So today we want to date and then put people on the shelf. I want to hang out with you, whatever it is, physical, this, that, and the other, then put you on the shelf, and then come back and get you when it's that time of the week or the month that our rotation turns back around. That's how people are moving today. And so now this is the part I would say about the women in this. Now, she was being, like I said, she was agreeing to his the non-committed, the way they both were moving. They were both dating, and they weren't in a relationship, so they were just doing what they felt. Now, the fact that she was able to notice him reaching over and getting the box of condoms and all this, and then not only was she able to notice it, she retained it weeks and weeks later, which tells me one thing: not everybody is built for the non-committed world. You got to be cut for it. If you're not built for it, you can't be sensitive. You can't be in your feelings, because the fact of the matter, he could have had wall mount condoms everywhere. All you need to know is we are uncommitted and we dealing like this. The rest of the stuff the person do doesn't matter. And so the fact that she brought up the snide comment about, if you got some condoms, you got that box over there, that's a relationship comment. That's like a comment of emotion, and that's the relationship comment. That's like saying now you're stepping over from the casual into the purposed, and now you're coming over, and you're putting these things out there that are kind of subliminal, but it's kind of like, okay, so then you turn around and you come back, and when the guy asks to see you, you retain the fact that you saw the condoms before. Nonetheless, that's the rules. The rules were you guys were non-committed. So non-committed is non-committed. Now, if you're committed in a relationship, yeah, you could do what you're going to do, fuss at them, why you got the box of condoms over there, whatever. But if you're non-committed, you can't get mad. You can't get mad. You just got to say, hey, you can get in your feelings a little bit, but you can't get mad. You can't turn that way. I mean, it happens, but if you're going to be casual, if that's what you choose to do, you don't want a commitment, or maybe you want a commitment, but you want to be casual until you deem someone serious enough to get there. The problem with that is if you are dating and you got a group of people that you're dating, but you want to get to this place of being single. I mean, not single, but you want to kind of like you want a committed scenario to arrive. Well, guess what? Somebody has to have access to you enough to get to know you to that point to get there. If you keep everybody with a stiff arm, but you got like 6 people in your rotation and all this, everybody is at a stiff arm, it's hard to kind of see the value in whoever is around you, especially if it's physical stuff involved, because we're built physically. Physical stuff, it bothers you. I mean, men, we can mask it sometimes because we are external. So we are going into the woman. So for us, sometimes we can handle it. Now, I've seen some guys get in their feelings too, even on the casual tip, like the women, they're getting their feelings. But the problem is, here is a truth women may not understand. We as men are not used to women being able to, check this out, get up as fast as us. And when I say get up, I mean it this way. We're having sex, and even if it's casual, if we're having sex with a woman, and if we quote unquote think we laying it down and doing this, that, and the other, in our mind, we're thinking psychologically something is bothering, something is going to slow her down, something, because I'm doing this, that, and the other, and women are cut to be emotional. So if I'm doing this, that, and the other, even if we're uncommitted, she's going to slow her roll. Well, guess what? Women today are lightweight. They lay down and they pop right back up like those things you see on the side of the road doing like this, in front of those auto places. That's what's happening nowadays. The women is falling down, they're getting right back on up with the wind. And so the men can't handle that. So like I said, the women are moving just like the men. So if you're out here and you having these casual relationships and you're uncommitted, well, not committed, you got to be realistic. In that situation that I read, so those you just coming on, I read the narrative to this at the top of this video. But the thing was, pretty much, the woman wants to know, why is there inequality in dating? She felt like if she was being casual, if she was being casual, and the guy knew, both of them knew they were being casual, so why should he have gotten in his feelings once he realized she was doing what he was doing in real time with someone else? I guess she felt like with him missing condoms since the last time they were together, that was a telltale sign that he got other women coming through. That's true, but you guys are casual, so that doesn't matter. If you're casual, it doesn't matter. You could have saw the lady leave out of there before you came. If you agree to it, you agree to it. It don't matter. And so I think this is where we go wrong, and we fool ourselves into thinking we can successfully navigate these situationships, because internally we weren't wired to just go from tree to tree like Tarzan. We weren't wired to do that. Even men in our reckless state, we do it because we have an origin of some sort, whether it's an insecurity, whether we are struggling with some sort of identity, or we have been, the most popular one, we've been hurt. When a man is hurt, we're going to be like Tarzan and swinging from tree to tree, trying to reaffirm what we lost. But and with women, most women, if you start dealing with a woman, I don't care, she can be the baddest woman ever and have the body, all this kind of stuff. If you are dealing with her physically, most women are going to take a moment and be like, they're going to think about it. You know, if this guy owns something, is he serious? Is he want to do this, that, and the other? Is he for real? They'll give you the benefit of the doubt to kind of think it over, because it's innately how women are built. But also today, they got that ignore switch, and today they will move on and go right to the next guy real quick, if not already when they're with you. So that's where we are today. And so people just have to look at it like that. You gotta, if you want to be, it can be fair and equality in non-committed dating and situations if you take your feelings out of it and be realistic. And the realistic side of it is, when you're not in a commitment, it means I'm not bound to do anything by you. I can do whatever I feel like it. And that's just the way you got to look at it. You can't be in your feelings. You got to just say, look, if we're not committed, I can do whatever. And I guess this guy, you know, when the girl told him that she was seeing somebody else and somebody else was spending the night at her house, that was a visual to him that, hey, she about to have sex like I did. And he couldn't take it, and he had a little meltdown. But that was probably like a grown man tantrum. He was being selfish, because most men, we want our cake and eat it too. We don't want you moving off the plate. You stay right there in the plate. No, I'm just saying. But that's how most of us are. If we're honest, that's what we're selfishly wired to do. But I always say this: if you find yourself in a situation with someone, y'all have me sitting here, I'm talking, I'm gonna be late. But anyway, if you find yourself sitting there talking to somebody, and if you have that kind of emotion that it upsets you to that level, when you realize that they talking to somebody else, then you need to say to yourself, I don't want to risk this person, and I need to make a commitment. And don't fool yourself. If your rant or your pouting is sincere, I don't mean being selfish and trying to control somebody so you try to tell them all these things so they can stick around. But I'm talking about if you sincerely feel like you came up on somebody of value, then don't play the non-committed game, because the non-committed game is going to get your feelings hurt. Because people are going to see you, they're going to see you out, or they're going to know what you're doing, and they're going to come by your house and see other women's hair, or you're going to go to her house and see condoms. Hey, look, you might look and see a condom in the trash can and be like, what the heck is going on? I was just here last night. But anyway, so you'll get surprised. You don't know what you'll see in the non-committed world. And so you got, if you cut for it, some folks can do it. They have made up their mind, and they have been in enough turmoil and pain in their world that they like, look, I just want a companion to hang out when I want to, go on a date. If I choose to have sex, then if that's what I subscribe to, so be it. If not, they going on about their business and living their world. But then you got those folks who want to be non-committed because they want to have this, you know, they want to play out their hand of options as long as they can, but they don't have the internal makeup to complete it, because they're sensitive, they get in their feelings. If you're a person that get in your feelings easy, you can't play the non-committed game. The non-committed game is for the emotionally detached. If you're not emotionally detached, or you don't have the ability to tap into that, then you can't play the non-committed dating game, because it's going to hurt your feelings. So, you know, I mean, those of you that just came on, if you kind of scroll back after the video ends, and you'll see what I read the person sent me in the beginning. Basically, we're talking about inequity or inequality, as you put it, in dating today, and how the standards are kind of seemingly not fair when people are not committed in their dating. But one person may get in their feelings when they learn the other person is doing what both. Here's the crazy part. Why get mad about something that both of you all know you're free to do? We're not in a commitment, so we're free to do whatever. So don't get mad. Be realistic with yourself. If you entertain somebody that you feel like is worth something past the mattress, then say, listen, I do not want to risk you. And then say, I want to entertain an exclusive relationship with you. And then move on. That's the safest way for you mentally, and you may come out with something good, or you may end up with the end result that you ultimately want. Other than that, you run the risk of walking away with some hurt feelings. And because I'm gonna tell you, there's nothing that a man can't deal with more than a woman that can stand flat-footed in his face and tell him, yes, I was with him too, he's my friend. Oh, that will lay a man out. We're not used to that kind of, excuse me, sorry y'all. We're not used to, we're not used to that kind of honesty. And today we're getting used to it by force, of course. But we're not used to that kind of honesty at all. We used to, we know it exists, and we know people talk to other people and do this, that, and other, but we sure don't want to know it. Just keep our clean world in our mind the way we like our mind to just stay, unfiltered. Keep all that stuff out of there. I'll just see you when it's our day. But I don't want to know all the other stuff. I don't want to know the path that you took before you got here. But no. That's why it's not good. I'm telling you, situationships are not good. I have took part in them, and they just don't end up right. There's a person who always start off by saying, "Oh, I'm good, I'm fine, I don't care about this, and I'm straight." You like, are you sure? Yeah, I can do this. We can date and be not committed. Okay, and sure enough, in time, here comes the. I was thinking the other day, my mother said she wanted to meet you. No, we don't meet people's parents in situationships. I'm not showing up to no family events in situationships. Those are for the detached. The relationship is for that. That's the commitment. But you don't do all that stuff. We try to have these. We try to get people in the back door. That's what we do. We want to get you through the situationship and then try to manipulate you into the relationship. Either you got to be bold up front and say, I want a relationship. Okay, what is the light's green and nobody? Oh, so we try to lure you into the relationship the dysfunctional way because we are afraid of the rejection up front. So we figure if I can lure you with the casual sex, and then you'll get the chance to see my commercial of me while we're dating or dealing. I don't want to say dating, while we're dealing, and then you can discover my value in reverse. That's not how it works. You got to come straight and risk the rejection and then deal with it. Because I'm telling you, situationships do not work. They can last and they can be convenient for such a period of time, but people are wired. We're wired to have feelings and emotions, and when you getting deep enough into somebody and you sleeping with somebody constantly without a title or not, you're going to see them one day and you're going to see that person with somebody, or you're going to learn of them, or they're going to tell you they with somebody, and when you feel that it's going to be uncomfortable because you're like, I don't like this. You're like, I don't like this, and then now you don't want to play the game no more. So then if you're not that person, again, you're not built for it, don't play the game. So in closing, the young lady, she had a point. If he was bold enough to tell her, if she knew he had a box of condoms on the side of his bed or whatever, and when he was dealing with her, and when he came back and he said, hey, I don't have any condoms, and she said, what about the box that you had over there on the side of the bed? And he said, well, I had 3 in there. So 1 was used on her and 2 was used while she was gone. So as ugly as that may be, that's his truth. Now, the way he played himself is he was bold enough to tell you that, but he could not take it when the lady told him she was doing herself too. So I think both of them likely probably liked each other, but they played themselves with taking the back door route, as opposed to him just stepping up and saying, I like you on this level, and I don't really want to do this. But like you said, we live in a selfish day, and this is that day and time where people love their appetites, and they like their colors of the weeks and flavors of the day and all that kind of stuff. So if this is a world of options, and so if you jump into a game where people are doing this constantly and it's okay and nobody's saying nothing, guess what? You're going to become Emotional collateral damage. So if you don't want to subscribe to that ugly world, just be clear in your dealings when you deal with people. Take your time, get to know them. There's no, I don't want to say there is no rush, because time waits for no man. And yes, there is an urgency to connection and commitment, but you still got to get to know somebody and be realistic in what you're doing. And other than that, I think you can come out halfway decent with a decent relationship if you slow your roll and take your time and be deliberate in your dating, not so much casual. That's just my subscription. People do what works for them, but I just think the casual part, it always tends to not fare well. And when people see you, I'm gonna tell you one of the most disappointing things about casual relationships. People will agree to be in it with you and agree to the situationship, but then later on in life, if you tell them, if they see you and you tell them, yeah, I'm seeing Karen right now. Oh, you cheating on her too, because you remember how me and you were. So the point is, no, don't change the narrative because of our dealing. Yeah, we had a situationship because you allowed it, but don't say that I won't be a committed person because I didn't commit to you. I didn't commit to you because you did not see the worth in you enough to require it. So that's why I didn't do it. Nonetheless, all right, guys, you have a great day. And I won't do this over the weekend. This wasn't planned. This is going too far. It's been 5 days in a row. No, I enjoy it. I like this. It keeps me occupied on my way to work. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Potentially I'll be back at this on Monday. It's fun. And I hope you guys are safe. Everybody is, be clear. I'll leave you with this. Be clear in your dealings. I had to learn the hard way in time of life that if you're not clear in your dealings, the dealings will come after you. So be clear in your dealings with people and emotions, and you don't have to have these problems. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. All right, take care.